Yeah, guys. All of you guys that follow the Niners probably been looking at the same stuff on Twitter, waiting for the news. So let's talk defensive coordinator. It looks like the 49ers have narrowed their search, or at least that's what we think, to um, Wilks. What's his name? I just totally forgot his name.
Steve Wilks. I was going to say
Steve
John
Wilks,
Wilks. I
the
like John Wilks.
former Carolina Panthers assistant head or interim head coach. What's your guys' thought? Are you okay with that if that's who they pick, or do you think there's a dark horse that's going to come in last minute and sweep the Niners off their feet?
Go ahead, Ryan.
He was there for a long time today, supposedly, so I think that's pretty much the best indicator. The interviews where I know I've gotten it before the interview ended, real soon into it, we were talking about things that weren't necessarily the job. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but those interviews went long because it didn't matter at that point because they had already found their candidate and they were trying to build rapport, you know what I mean, going forth, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what it was. Not necessarily that they didn't spend the whole time talking about things, but I think they spent a lot of time talking with them because they realized they wanted him. They probably, offered the job to him, said, we're not going to make this official just yet. You go home, get with your wife, you know what I mean? Make sure she's okay with it and whatnot. And then call us, let us know. And then tomorrow we'll, because you got to get home, you got to get dressed, and then you got to come over. You know what I'm saying? You know how this thing's been going lately. So everybody's got to say hi to you. They got to get all the brass in the building to wave, and there's got to be banners made. So yeah, I think that's what's happening. They've figured it out. They're just not releasing it right now.
I kind of feel the same way too, and I know we talk about, the Niners getting draft picks from minority candidates and all that stuff. And I don't want to make light of that because I think that's kind of messed up to make light of it. But him being a minority candidate is just on top of the fact that he seems like a really good pick to replace D'Amico Ryans. He's not there. I don't think the Niners are doing it just to fill a quota. I think they literally like him. The talk around the league is that he's. What's that?
As far as everybody out there in our scheme, I think he's the best fit, and I think that's another reason why that Vic Fangio walked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, Kyle said it in the end of the year press conference. He says he doesn't want to make wholesale changes, and that's what they would have had to do to have someone like Fangio. They would have to drop it to a 3-4. I love Nick Bosa, but I don't think Nick Bosa's outside linebacker material, just personally.
Or have somebody like Nick Fangio play outside of his bread and butter, which isn't smart either. You know what I mean? So it just seems actually like, and look at promoting D'Amico Ryans. Wasn't that the best case? You know what I mean? It seems like not only do minority coaches also have the same talent, if not better, you know what I mean? But the Niners keep finding them. And that's the thing. I think that it's not that they wouldn't have gotten, a white coach if it was the thing. Look, they were courting Fangio. He just doesn't match it.
Yeah.
And if he's not going to conform to the 4-3, you know what I mean? Then yeah, you got to go somewhere else, bro. And it would have been best. It's best for all sides that Vic Fangio went somewhere else and wasn't here. I just think people would have been frustrated with the little semi retool, you know what I mean? And it just wouldn't have worked right.
Yeah, the Niners are in a win now situation. They have a lot of players that are in their primes, and I think it's best to kind of stick with a scheme that is familiar to the guys so that they're not relearning and playing, because we all know how that goes. When you're thinking on the football field, you're not playing fast. So
and it sounds like he's got a little bit more knowledge of, well, maybe not more knowledge, but he likes to run a little more maybe intricate type things, or a little certain other So it just means a different wrinkle. So yeah, you figured out the 49ers defense this year, maybe, right? Okay, well now you got the same defense, almost running the same thing. Now we got different wrinkles. Different
Right.
guy calling the plays too. So it's,
I'm totally down for it. I hope that's the decision they make.